Hello friends, welcome to TechnoGeek SFDC. So in today's video, we are going to see one of the use case of custom permissions in Salesforce. So custom permissions are feature provided by Salesforce so that you can check on a runtime whether the particular logged in user is having permission to run certain business logic, or let's say to run certain piece of Apex code, or to execute certain business logic. Okay. So for example, so let's take an example. Okay. So for example, let's say you have a validation rule on account. Okay. And you want to bypass this validation rule. So first method of bypassing any validation rule, let's say for any particular profile, one of the easiest method is either you can select the profile name and then you can hard code the profile name. For example, let's say I need to bypass this particular validation rule for, let's say, system admin. Okay. So what I can do is I can simply come here, I can select on profile, I can select the profile name, and then I can put something like admin. Okay. So this is one way, but the demerit of using this approach is, let's say tomorrow if you again need to include some other profiles or some other permission sets, then again you have to come to this validation rule. You need to update this validation rule, and then you need to redeploy it to the production, right? And it is again going to be a time consuming job. So how to avoid these types of scenario, or let's say how to build a more scalable solution on this? So for doing that, you can use custom permissions. Okay. So what custom permissions are, basically these are the permissions assigned to a particular profile or particular user in Salesforce. Okay. So let's say the same scenario, let's say if you have to bypass for some profile. Okay. So instead of checking for the profile name here, we can check whether the particular logged in user is having this custom permission or not. Okay. Now, before we jump to custom permission, so this is the logic. Okay. But how do we create custom permissions? So for creating custom permission, you can just click on quick find custom permissions. You can go to custom permission. So it will show you, it will take you to a list, and then you can just click on new and you can give the name. Okay. Now, I already have a custom permission in my org, so I will take a use case of that. So let's say I have created this custom permission called bypass validation rule. Now I can go to any admin profile. So whichever profile needs to bypass the validation rule. Okay. So I can go to that particular profile and I can click on custom permissions, and then you can just click on edit and assign the custom permission to that particular profile. So all the users who belongs to that particular profile will automatically get this custom permission. Okay. So they will be having access to this custom permission. Now in your validation rule, what you need to do, you just need to put a check that whether the logged in user is having this custom permission or not. Okay. So doing that, what you need to do, you just need to put like dollar permission followed by API name of your custom permission. So by using this format or this syntax, system will first check whether the logged in user is having that custom permission or not. Okay. And then accordingly it will run your logic. So in our case, it is like not condition and checking for custom permission, and followed by my other logic of the validation rule. Okay. So let's say if the logged in user is having a custom permission, then this validation rule will get bypassed. Okay. And further, the advantage is that, let's say if you have to bypass this particular validation rule for some additional profiles, or let's say some additional permission sets, right? Then in that case you don't need to touch this validation rule at all. Okay. It will be like as is, you can just go to the profile and you can assign the custom permission to them. Okay. So it will be an easy process, time saving process, and it's a scalable solution. Okay. So this is the way how you can use custom permission in bypassing the validation rule. Similarly, this check you can even put for your approval process. You can put it for flows. You can put it in the Apex, wherever you need to first check whether the logged in user is having permission to run this particular business logic, let's say to run this particular flow or to run this particular Apex code, or let's say to run this particular validation rule or something like that, there you can use custom permissions. Okay, so this is how we have seen in configuration you can use the custom permission. But how to use in Apex? As I was telling that you can use it in Apex as well, right? So how you can use it in Apex? So it's very simple in Apex as well. So let's say I have a small trigger on account, okay, where I am checking that, let's say if when you are deleting an account, if the account rating is hot, don't delete it, okay, or don't allow user to delete it, okay. But let's say if you want to bypass this logic for certain profiles or certain, let's say you have some admin profiles for whom this particular logic should not work. Okay, then how to do that? So again, in that case, you can use feature management dot check permission method. So this method is provided by Salesforce out of the box, where you can pass the custom permission API name. Okay, so what this method will do, this method will check whether the logged in user is having this custom permission or not. Okay, and then accordingly it will give you either true or false. It will give you a boolean result. Okay, in terms of yes, it is having the permission, or no, it is not having the permission. And then accordingly you can put your logic, the other Apex logic in, or in my case, the add error part, I can put it inside the custom permission boolean, so that if the logged in user is not having the permission, then this logic should work. If the logged in user is having custom permission, then bypass this logic. Okay, similarly you can put it in the Apex. So this is, I am just showing as on a trigger side, but you can also put it on the Apex. You can put it on your uh, whatever classes you are creating, or whatever batch class you are creating, you can use it there. Okay, so this is how you can use it even on the customization side, the custom permission. And again, it is same thing, it is a scalable methods, a scalable approach. So again, tomorrow if you have to bypass for some other profiles, you can do it on the fly. Or if you want to do other way around, let's say you have certain profiles who are already bypassed, and you want to include those profiles to run to run this validation check, then you just need to go to profile and remove the custom permission. Okay, so it will be easy to maintain, and it's a scalable approach. So this is how you can use custom permission in Apex, as well as in the configuration side. So it can be used in both the sides, and it can be used to create a very simple solution which is very easy to maintain. Okay, so this is one use case, like when you are bypassing the validation rule or bypassing certain Apex logic. Similarly, there can be many use case scenario based on the business requirements. Okay, so I hope you like this video, you found this information useful, and please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and definitely will come up with these types of use cases in future as well by using the different other features of Salesforce. So with this, we will wrap up today's video. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.